Hi, my name is Solis, and I'm the chair of the Bexar County Democratic Party. I'm going to start today by explaining some legal terms which are fundamental to what it means to live in the United States of America. This administration abandoned due process of law, which is codified in both the 5th and 14th Amendments to our U.S. Constitution. The 5th Amendment states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law. This amendment binds the federal government. The 14th Amendment says that the states will also provide due process. Note that it doesn't say citizen. Due process of law applies to any person in the United States. So no, the government can't take people off the streets and deport them or send them to a prison in El Salvador without due process, which is what has been happening. While the Supreme Court has stopped the extraditions to El Salvador, people continue to be deported without any due process in violation of the Constitution. Trump's administration told us on Friday, May 9th, that they are looking at the option of suspending habeas corpus to aid their efforts of deporting undocumented persons. This is a dangerous escalation. The writ of habeas corpus has been a cornerstone of our democracy. It grants prisoners the right to challenge their imprisonment in a court of law. The courts have found that both U.S. citizens and non-citizens have the right to habeas corpus. Bottom line, you and everyone else in the United States have the right to due process, and you can challenge your imprisonment in a court of law. This administration has been testing their lawlessness on immigrants, and now they've started chipping away at the rights of American citizens. Several American children have been deported along with their mothers, despite family members petitioning for them to remain in the United States. And just this week, ICE officials arrested a Democratic mayor for trying to enter an ICE detention facility with congressional representatives. Let's talk about the economy. For the past 25 years, the Port of Los Angeles has been the busiest seaport in the Western Hemisphere, with approximately 15,000 longshore workers pulling shifts around the clock, moving billions of dollars in cars, toys, clothes, and furniture. Last week, the number of shipping containers that arrived at the port is down by roughly 1/3 when compared to the same time last year. What does that mean? Prices are going up, and yes, unemployment will go up too. Trump campaigned on eliminating inflation on day one. Didn't happen. In fact, he's raising your prices even more. Let's talk about the Texas Legislature. While the governor used strong-arm tactics to get the voucher bill through, the public school funding bills have stalled in both the Texas House and the Texas Senate. House Bill 2 is the better bill and has yet to have a formal hearing in the Texas Senate. But here's what they were able to pass last week. They passed a bill to make the sale of exotic animals tax exempt. And uniformed school marshals can now openly carry weapons in public schools. And they passed a law that makes it a criminal offense to fly a drone over a spaceport. So if you're in the billionaire class, you can get your bills passed. But passing public school funding for your children, not so far. The Texas Legislature ends on June 2nd, so there's less than 3 weeks to get this done. And here in San Antonio, we held our municipal elections. Rolando Pablos, who was sued by the NAACP and League of Women Voters for trying to hand over your voter data to Trump, is running against Gina Ortiz-Jones, a former Undersecretary of the Air Force. The choice is very clear. If you're sitting on the sidelines, it's time to get engaged with your local Democrats. The billionaire class is having its way because they own the Republican Party. They've ensured that Republicans hold every lever of power at the national level and at the state level. It's time we demand that our representatives support the interests of hardworking Texans. Join us.